She used to slid into my DMs.
Yeah, slid in your DMs.
And
I feel like I'm getting my own like millennial karma back, because when I was in my 20s, I would be like, I was there, I forgot to check in, and I totally wasn't there because of any saturation. Oh shit, sorry. I turned it off.
That's a $20 fine right there.
I used to be a fashion designer, and then I got sexually harassed. I'm not allowed to legally talk about it, but I like spent a year like surfing and trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life.
And then we have 2 puppies now. I was just telling her that it seems like everybody is getting a puppy nowadays because people are depressed. And welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here with one of my studio owners. If you guys don't know, I teach Pilates. I work at 3 studios currently, and this is the owner manager of my studio in San Pedro. I asked her to be here to talk today about just being a business owner during COVID, especially since the industry that she works in, the industry that I work in, was one of the most hard hit industries. We have our emotional support puppy. So this is Ashley Rios, by the way. She is a San Pedro native, right?
Yeah.
Born and raised.
Yeah, unfortunately. No.
Yeah. She's been living here for like most of her life. She understands the clientele, and she thought that the area could use a Pilates studio since there's nothing like that around here, isn't there?
Yeah, no, there wasn't. Everyone was going to like the beach cities. The closest ones were in Palos Verdes. So when I did my market research, the demographic, there was like enough income and people of the right age group, enough women that it made sense market-wise to open a studio here.
What a horrible time to have just started a business, because this is already a really, really tough time for small businesses in general.
Yeah.
But of course, if you have a solid kind of base of continual clients, you're probably more likely to survive. But you have had your boxing gloves on for this whole time because you're trying to stay afloat. If you guys aren't aware, we live in California, and we just had a second wave. They kind of opened the gyms for a few weeks, and then they're kind of playing like this game with us where you can open and then you can't. And you know, it's this kind of back and forth thing. All these restrictions are set up, and it's just very, very hard. And one of the biggest industries that is affected are massage parlors, nail salons, gyms, fitness studios.
It's been really hard. Like, it's been really devastating. I was in a small studio. It was 840 square feet. And then throughout the closure, people were just constantly canceling their auto pays because I had a good amount of auto pay clientele. And then it was just like people canceling the auto pays. And it was just like emotionally devastating. Halfway through the closure, there was other people that like, you should just run classes and like block out the windows. To break those kind of like rules, it was sort of like, if you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. Like, there's a social stigma, especially in this town. Like, they'll rat people out. Like, do you want to be seen as a small business that's like doesn't care about the community's health? Or is it just like, there are people like, if you run classes, I'm coming, like, I want to work out.
Regardless of how you feel personally, whether you lean left or lean right during this whole COVID thing, I mean, it completely changes everything. When your, finances are on the line, your life is literally on the line. You'd want to think that you can be altruistic and be like, oh, stay at home and blah, blah. But at the end of the day, you kind of are in a place, unfortunately, where you have to be like, ooh, it.
Yeah, like, I know people are like, well, just don't pay your rent, you have to pay it later. It's like, it's not that easy. In my lease, because my credit score was low, I had to pay 3 months rent. So if I don't pay my rent in time, I lose my deposit. And that's like $9 grand. A lot of people who aren't in a small business or who don't,
they feel like there's an out for you.
Yeah,
like, well, they're taking care of you, right? It's like, no,
it's not. It's really not. And so like, that's why you see all these restaurants closing, because it's not worth it for them to like be on the hook for like months and months of rent. They've spent up to $30,000, some of these hair nail salons, to put in plastic borders, to put in all these things. And then
they shut us down again.
Yeah, they shut us down. You can only operate outside. How are you going to do someone's roots outside? You know what I mean? Like, I'm lucky that the landlord is letting me do machines on the sidewalk. Like, I have to roll them out 4 times a day on dolly. And I think it's not fair. It's like, you either make everyone do the same thing, because how is it that Costco is safer than my small Pilates studio? Costco is still letting hundreds of people in a day, whereas like on average we have less than 30 people a day in the studio, and our classes are like, right now they're 5 people.
As a small business owner, you don't have the luxury to be able to operate based on your even true morals and true feelings about what's going on. I mean, it'd be really nice to be able to like not have that to worry about, and just to be like, I know what the right thing to do is. Stay home, socially distance, isolate, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people who are very zealous about that, I think that's one thing that they're they just cannot put themselves in the position of a lot of these people.
Yeah.
Which is like, if you were in this position, you might have a completely different political standpoint about things that are going on. And that's like the thing that you have to remember, like when you're yelling at some owner for like trying to operate their business, it's not that they're greedy.
It's about security.
What is that supposed to mean?
Money!
I'm gonna go out of business and I'm gonna lose everything.
You know, it's just sort of things where like people say like support local, support small, but then communities don't. Like I'm gonna go shop at Sam's Club because I can do everything at once and get out. You know, like things like that. I just wish that like local communities were more supportive, you know, for their small businesses, because they say that they are, but then I don't see it. Like as a small business owner, I don't really see it. You know, I don't see people like buying retail. Like people are still like, oh, I can get this cheap on Amazon. And it's like this bra is $12.
How do you think that this will change the fitness industry? Because it's one of the biggest industries that has been affected through all of this.
Okay, I'm gonna break that up into specific industries. So like cycle industry, dying because of Peloton and like things like Peloton, Nordic Track.
I love Peloton.
Yeah, like because people are just like, I'll just buy a Peloton and then do it at home. So like things like that. Like I know a couple of studios that are closing and they haven't announced it. So cycle is gonna be hard hit, right? Yoga also hard hit because you don't have to go to yoga studio now, because now they're all doing Zoom yoga, because you can just follow the instructor you like. You can do yoga for free on YouTube. Same thing for bar and other kinds of mat workouts, because people don't want to pay for mat classes because there's already established streaming services where you can pay like $20 to $40 a month to get unlimited classes. More equipment-based classes like fitness studios like mine, where it's, you know, machines.
Yeah, you're essentially renting the machine.
Yeah, like I feel like they're doing okay. Like people still want to work out, because they're not going to spend $5 to $8 grand on a reformer at home right now. So they'll still do it if the prices are reasonable.
Next question. I know this is like very vulnerable for you to talk about, because not a lot of people like to talk, especially in their small businesses, about like how much money they're making. Some people I'm sure do pretty well normally, but especially during this time, a lot of people are like wondering like, how are you not like going under?
With the clientele that I have, I'm able to pay the rent, my MindBody subscription. I'm not even paying myself. Like I'm on unemployment. Like, and I'm paying the instructors that teach for me out of my own unemployment.
Do you think that that is kind of a lot of people's situation, is that a lot of owners are actually not making any money?
Yeah, no one's making any money.
And they're just, everything is going towards keeping their business afloat.
Yeah. Do you even want to stay in a business where like if you can't operate for 6 months out of a year, how much debt you're in for that? It's not like, you know, is it worth paying that debt back? Like it's a certain question of like, can I fold my business? Can I do bank? Like
it's kind of almost a lottery thing. Like you're playing the lottery because you just don't know. Should I pull out now and save my, not go into more debt, or should I keep going in hopes that I pull through? And you just don't know the answer because no one's giving anybody any answers.
Yeah. So you're just hearing all these different confusing things about what's safe and what's not. My own unemployment's gonna run out in 2 months. You know, like and then the $600 just ended yesterday. Yeah, just ended yesterday. So, you know, and my unemployment isn't even the max. I'll be getting $220.
Yeah, me too, around that.
Yeah, $212 a week, which is like, how do you live off that?
You don't. You can't. See, hardest working like manager, she's fighting so hard to like keep her head of. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks. No, it's just so hard, and I don't know. It's just like when you see someone canceling their membership because they're scared, and you understand it, but you're just like, oh, another one bites the dust. You know, and it's like, now how do I calculate how to save my business? It's just sorry, it's just like, it's so hard to like let people know, like we're doing it outside, we're wearing gloves, we're wearing masks, we're sanitizing. So it's just like literally like I just go home and I drink. You know, I just go home and I drink and like
cuddle with your cute new puppy.
Yeah, my puppy.
I think a lot of people don't really understand what small business owners go through. I think there might be a misconception that first of all it's easy, or that you just have to have the right idea, the right business plan, and then everything just falls into place. And almost anybody who owns a small business will tell you that is not the case, that it's incredibly difficult and that life throws you so many curveballs. Support small business. People say this, but they don't really do it. And it's a little hard. It's a little going out of your way to do it, but it makes such a huge difference, not only for an individual, but for our economy in general. Like it's really important.
Society or the public, clientele, they don't really understand how small the margin of profit is for most small businesses. Like restaurants, I think it's like 3%. It's like 3 to 5% profit, which is really low. They're passion projects, right?
The Karens of the world who must get their hair done and their nails done during COVID.
You're ugly. Oh God, ooh.
And it sounds so ridiculous on the surface, but what you don't realize is that there are people that depend on the Karens, regardless of how they feel about COVID-19. The way that they feed their families and they pay their mortgages is by doing hair, doing nails, teaching Pilates. You got to realize that they're supporting people who otherwise would go into deep debt, wouldn't be able to pay medical bills, family, you know, basic needs. Like these are people that their jobs matter and their livelihoods, they matter too. Even if you think that they're ridiculous, it's linked to something very important.
I mean, I'll still be in business because I have to be, because my mom is like on the loan, so I don't have like, I'm not bankruptcy or closing.
It's not an option.
It's not an option. Like it's not an option. Like I've got some eggs I can sell. Once we get past all this and this is over, I think there's going to be a lot of people that were like holding their horses. Like now I can, like I had this money, I'm going to expand because I'm, you know, I want to open a location. I'm trying to, you know, to be able to do that. Where like the rent is cheaper, you know, like you might start seeing this like small business boom in certain ways, but
do you think the people that are kind of manage to hold on,
if you
they're gonna maybe reap the benefits, because a lot of people, the competition will have left, and people will be so ready maybe to like come to a Pilates class. They're gonna like be dying to go to bars, clubs, Pilates. They're gonna be wanting to go to restaurants. They're gonna want coffee shops. They want to go out.
If you can hold on for another like literally 12 months, you know, all I do is eat noodles out of a box. You know, I soup out of the can. You know, like don't spend any money. Like just maintain to pay rent and maintain your clientele. It's literally Darwinism, survival of the fittest.
I think you're right. It's going to be the hardest working people, the people who are not willing to, to like give up. Thank you so much for talking. Hopefully some of you, if you're a small business owner, maybe this made you feel a little bit better, because hearing somebody else talk about the struggles, I know a lot of people don't want to talk about their struggles, right? If you're just somebody who says you want to support small businesses, it will push you to maybe support a little bit harder or a little bit more. If you want to come take Pilates here, we're in San Pedro. You just moved your space to a nicer, bigger space, which is amazing because, I mean, in the midst of all this, you managed to do that. Things will be nice and socially distanced, and you can come and support a small business. Somebody like Ashley, who's really, really working hard to like make things happen. So thank you so much for hanging out today. All right, guys, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and also if you guys are interested in more fitness related content, I did a fitness challenge with Oleg. I teach the Legree method, which is a little bit different than what you do here, but it's a challenge. I taught Ollie the Legree and he did the soccer with me. It was really fun. So we'll link that video down below. And we hope you guys are doing well during this really uncertain time. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Bye.